Okay, so you guys have seen how we have kind of created sort of a roof form with walls that kind of come down to the sides. Right now, I want to kind of show you guys how to create a tubular form that can eventually be enclosed so that it becomes an object. Okay, so this is going to be a fairly simple exercise. What I'm going to do is start by creating kind of a ground plane. All right, and the ground plane, I'm going to kind of draw a rectangle from which I will then sort of adjust. That way we're all kind of creating about the same size thing. Okay, so the rectangle that I'm going to create is going to be about 6 inches front to back, and from side to side I'm going to make it to where it's about 4.5. Okay, so that's about a 6-inch by 4.5-inch rectangle. Okay. Now, the reason I'm starting with the rectangle is because it's what it'll allow me to get you guys all to create a very similar shape, right, with a little bit of kind of coaxing. Otherwise, how do you tell somebody how to create a polygon? I'd have to give you all of the angles and the lengths, and it becomes really complicated. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this 4.5 by 6 inch, and on both edges, we are going to taper it. All right, and I'm tapering it. Looks to be about 3/4 of an inch, so 0.75. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, 0.75. All right, so I'll draw that one. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of angle off the top of it. I think that one I'll do maybe an inch. All right, and then I'm going to do at the bottom, I'll probably do 3/4 of an inch also, so 0.75. All right, so we'll do that. And so I end up with this sort of trapezoidal shape that all started from a 4.5 by 6 inch rectangle. Okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that thing out. And so that becomes what I'm going to call my floor level. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a little person. I'm going to put them on here. Okay? That way it becomes clear that it's a floor. So here's my little person. Maybe I'll turn it up a little more to make it look more human-like. So there it is, a little guy, right, or a little girl, something like that. So I'm going to just sort of glue it on here so that we're aware that this is a floor, right? You guys don't have to do this. I just want you guys to kind of picture it as a floor. Okay? All right. So there is the floor. And let's just say that this hypothetical person that's standing inside of there is, let's say they're about 6 feet tall. They're about like my height. Okay? So what I want to do now is I want to create kind of a volume out of this. And I need to make walls that this person's not going to hit their head on and are not going to be too tall. So one of the ways that I can do that is to cut out something and put it on the side of this. Right? So I could take a piece of board and kind of put it here and begin to draw what the shape of that side wall might be. Right? So I could say, all right, well, I want this side wall to look something like this. I'm going to have it angled this direction. Then I'm going to have it be about taller than the guy. And at the front, I'm going to make it even taller. And then I'm going to angle it down like that. And that's going to be the sidewall. I cut it out for stick it on there. A different approach might be to just simply put this thing in there and turn the world on its side. You see what I just did? And this way can be a little bit easier than doing it that way. For one, that edge is already cut for you. You don't have to measure anything or do anything. It's just there. Okay. It's all right. So the same thing. So there's the guy. I'm going to make my measurements. I'm going to say, all right, well, I want the roof to be about 1.5 times as high as the guy. So that's about 1.5 times right there. Right? And at the front, I want it to be about 2.5 times the height of the guy. So there's the guy, 1, 2.5, about 2.5. All right? And I'm going to make my sidewall so that they angle out way away from my building. Okay? So here goes. I'm going to cut that out. How many minutes am I at? 7. All right. So there's the sidewall, and hey, look at that. Worked out pretty good, huh? Yeah. Damn. Put a couple drafting dots on there, and I'm in luck. Not in love. I'm in luck. Oops. Echo. All right. Sidewall here. Tilt it up, and there it is. All right. So I got a wall. Now I want to put another wall up on the other side. So I'm going to put it back in the hole it came out of. Go back to the hole whence you came. And this time, I'm going to do it a little differently. I want my 2 side walls to have different rake angles. I don't want it to all go up on one side. So on the opposite side, I'm going to tilt it up, and I'm going to kind of go the opposite of what I did here. So I'm going to put kind of a high wall on this side, towards this end, maybe about like right there. And I'm going to put the lower wall over here. So that's kind of the shape that I'm trying to get right there. Okay? All right. Anybody know why I'm trying to crisscross the,
Yes.
Why would I be trying to crisscross those, Corey?
You can make a ridge.
So I can make either a ridge or a valley.
Whatever you want.
Either one, depends on which direction I have. That's right. Okay, so there's the other wall. Right? Bada bing, look at that. Wow! Going in opposite directions. Okay. All right, so I can put some tape on that one and tape it up. How many minutes am I at there?
8 minutes and 30 seconds.
8 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm doing good. All right, there's my 2 sides. Now I need to do a roof. So one of the ways that you can do a roof is to simply put this sucker back in, and instead of turning the world on its side, you turn the world upside down. Upside down. So, all right, there it is. I'm going to put my dot here, and that's going to be one of my roof forms. And I screwed up because it goes right across the little place where the guy got cut out of. Oh well. It's good enough for demonstration purposes. You guys will make yours very perfect. Perfecto. All right, so this goes back like that. And this becomes one of the roof elements. And it goes like that. Right? And then finally, the last thing is to do the last triangle. Okay? So, how many minutes? 10? All right, so I think I'll tape that up. Okay, so I've got that. Now all I got to do is make the last form. I think in order to do the last form, I'm going to put a piece of tape on that corner also. That way it kind of stays in the round. How many minutes? 11. Okay, we're still good. Okay, so this last one just requires that I put this in the little hole from whence it came, and then I'm going to rotate it until it hits the other side over here, and that becomes my last triangle right there. And of course, my luck, I go right across the little thing I cut out there. All right, this goes like this, and it flips over like that, and that becomes my last little triangle, and I have a tubular, totally tubular, man, polygonal object. Okay? And you'll notice that it's kind of put together all like with these drafting dots, and it's a very much a Frankenstein shape, right? But the beauty of doing things in this fashion is that you get to drive the design. You get to decide how far out does something lean, how tall is it, right? And then afterwards you can just open it up, lay it out like a pattern, and cut a clean one, and then crease all the pieces. So right now, what I'm going to ask you all to, actually, you know what, we're out of time. I'm going to ask you all to all right, let's go ahead and stop the video.